Welcome, friends. Today's practice requires some kind of strap. So it doesn't actually have to be a yoga strap. In fact, even though this is a yoga strap, I've cut the ends off. It just needs to be long. You got to be able to loop it, and you have to be able to pull on it without it snapping. Other than that, it doesn't matter what it is. Let's come to lying on our backs. Draw your knees into the belly. Give them a good solid squeeze. Let's take 3 breaths here. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. One more time. In. And out. Keep hold of the right leg. Lengthen the left leg out. Give that right knee a squeeze so you feel the thigh compressing the ribs. And then draw that knee across your body. Easy twist. Activate the left foot. I'm kicking through the heel on the downstairs foot. And then with that left hand, I'm going to push on the outside of my right thigh to get a deeper twist. Reach your right hand out in the opposite direction of the crossed leg. And then just look towards your thumbnail, even if it's only through the corner of your right eye. Breathe in deep. Exhale out the mouth. Let's take 2 more breaths in and out through the nose. Push on that leg and reach the right hand. One more time. Release onto your back. Squeeze both knees into the belly. Start from that centered place with the tailbone nice and long. And then hold on to the left leg. Straighten out the right. Kicking through your right heel. Squeeze that left thigh into the ribs. And then let's take that knee across into our twist. Extend your left arm out opposite the knee. And then look towards the thumb of that hand. Try not to let the eyes move. Breathe in. First one out the mouth, all the air out, and then 2 more in and out through the nose. Use that pressure of the palm to deepen. One more. All right, take yourself back through center. Squeeze the right knee in again. Left leg is long this time. And then just extend that right footprint towards the sky. I want us to learn how to activate the muscles that we need to get this leg straight. So, kicking that right heel towards the ceiling. Feel the thigh squeeze. And then to get you started, feel the shin muscles pulling the toes towards your face. Then keep that thigh squeezing. If you bend and straighten the knee once or twice, it's going to create a little bit more awareness so that you know when that leg is as straight as you can get it. Try to get that leg perpendicular to the ground. And then let's point through the toes. We're changing it up. Bend the knee. It's almost like we're doing the can-can. Kick that leg out straight and try to bring the thigh closer to your abdomen. Bend the knee again. Make sure that when you straighten the leg, the knee is pointing directly over your head. One more time. Give a little bend to that knee. Activate the left leg too while you're at it. That leg on the floor. Not a bad idea to point through those toes as well. All right, let's switch sides on that. So take that left knee in, right leg, straighten it, point through the toes is a good place to start. Straighten out your left leg, no hands. First kick through the heel, feel the thigh, and then feel the shin, really squeezing those toes back. And then switch it up, point through the toes. Bend the knee a little bit, and then really engaging in the hip flexors. That's keeping the leg up. The thigh straightens the knees, and now we're firing off through the calf muscles. One more time, bend that knee, and then squeeze it as straight as you possibly can. All right, take that leg down. Gonna do a little core work here. So keep in mind, if your lower back hurts, you need to keep the knees bent. No problem. What we're trying to do is totally straighten out the legs here. So sometimes what I like to do, in fact, let's do this all together. Bend both your knees And then straighten your left leg down the mat as the right leg kicks up, and really feel the squeeze in the thighs. And then bend the knees and switch. So I'm going to get that right leg long, left leg to the sky. Bend the knees and switch straight as you can go. I'm feeling my butt squeezing on that downstairs leg too. Bend the knees and then go straight as you can go, perpendicular lines. All right, let's keep the legs straight and we're just going to sweep them for 20. So 1, sweep, 2, keep them straight, 3, and 4, and 5, 6. Are the knees as straight as they can go? 7, and 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Straighten them out. 15, 16, 17. Keep legs off the ground. 18, 19, and 20. All right, grab hold of your strap, please. Put the strap around your right arch. And then grab that strap pretty much as close to the foot as you can. I started with my left knee bent, but I'm going to straighten it out. Let's take 5 breaths with the heel kicking towards the ceiling. Just try to hang on the strap. You're not pulling it towards you per se, but the weight of your body and the fact that you're holding on to the strap is allowing that back of the right leg to open up. Here we go. 5. 4. 3. Relax any kicking, but try to straighten through the knee. 2. Last one. Switch hands. Left hand is going to grab up. Right hand, just take it out to your side. You can turn the palm on the right hand to face the floor. Let's swing that left or right leg across the body over to the left side of the mat. Keep the foot off the ground. Kick through the heel. Have the toes pointing straight up to the top of your mat or up over your head. And then look towards that right hand. We got 5. Active in both legs, both thighs, both heels kicking out. 4. 3. 2. If you need to bend and straighten, you can give that a go too. Last one together, deep inhale. Keep the leg straight, try to lift it up, 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 up. And then bend the knee to get the strap off your foot. Switch sides. Wrap the strap around the arch of that left foot. Grab, hold close. Again, right leg can straighten for the setup, but then try to lengthen that leg out. First 5 breaths, leg is straight up overhead. Make sure the knee is straight as best as you can, and the toes are pointing right up over your head. Here we go. 5. 4. 3. 2. I just relaxed any kicking, but I'm keeping the knee straight. I'm not kicking the foot into the strap. Last one together. Breathe in deep. And exhale long. Switch your hands. Right hand grabs onto the strap. Swing that foot over to the left side wall. Keep the leg up off the ground. Kick into the strap. And here we go, 5 breaths. Activate your right foot as well. You're just rolling onto that outer hip. 4. 3. 2. Relax any tension in the teeth. Last one. Take it back through center. Keep the legs straight. Get that strap off your foot. Squeeze your knees in. And let's come up on the hands and knees. A lot of twisting today. A lot of opening up that IT band of your left leg. Let's start off right arm to the sky. Reach it high. Thread the arm underneath and across your body. Release your right ear, right shoulder to the ground. Crawl your left hand out in front for a moment. Really stabilize into the back of the right hand. And just take a moment to check back mentally with your feet. If that right foot just swept over towards the left, do your best to straighten it out. Take this top hand behind the back. Snuggle the fingers. Find that right hip crease or as close to that as you can. And then start to rock onto the right side of your skull, maybe even a little bit onto the back of the skull to try to look up towards the ceiling. Take that left arm back up into the sky. We're going to do slow claps here. Take that left hand down to the right hand, breathing in. Exhale, reach that left arm back up and push into the back of the right hand. Twice more. Inhale, take it down. Exhale, lift it up. Last one. Inhale, take it down. And exhale, lift it up. Bring the left hand back in front of your face. Exhale all the air out. Hold the breath out. Unthread your needle. Reach up. Breathe in. Exhale, lower the top hand down. Switch your sides. Left arm reaches high. Breathing in. Exhale, thread the needle. Take it underneath and across. Get it way far over. Left ear, left shoulder to the floor. Start by crawling your right hand out in front. Stabilize into the back of the left hand. And then take this top hand, right hand behind the back. See if you can snuggle in and find that hip crease. Rock on to the back of your head a little. Pushing into the left hand will help. Two. Take the right hand back up into the sky. Reach it up. Push into the back of your left hand. Slow clap. Inhale, take the top hand down. Exhale, reach it up and push into the back of the left hand. Inhale, take it down. Exhale, reach it up. Straight through the top elbow. One more time. Inhale, take it down. Exhale, reach it up. Push into that left hand. Take the right hand in front of your face. Exhale all the air out. Pull the belly in tight. Unthread the needle. Hold the breath. Then breathe in. Lower the top hand down. Step back into your plank pose, please. Let's stay for 5. Claw into the fingers. Steer your elbow points back. Feel the back of the neck get nice and long. Press the back of your heart towards the ceiling. Squeeze into the thighs. Squeeze the butt. Very engaged. 2. Ujjayi breath. 1. Downward facing dog. Send the hips high and back. On your inhale, just rise up onto the tippy toes. Stay where you're at. Just rise up high onto the tippy toes. Bend the right knee. Press through the left heel. Let's stay for an inhale. And an exhale. Inhale, rise up onto your tippy toes. Bend that opposite knee. Left knee bends. Right heel presses down. Stay for an inhale. For an exhale. Inhale, rise up on the tippy toes. Exhale, press both heels down at the floor. On your next breath, rise up to tippy toes. Ripple your shoulders over your fingertips. Plank pose. Bend the knees, send the hips back. Downward facing dog. Again, let's go. Inhale, rippling forward. Exhale, send it back. Moving meditation. 3, forward. Exhale, pushing it back. 2, inhale forward. Exhale, push it back, getting all the snap, crackles, and pops out. Last one, inhale, take it forward. Exhale, send it back. Walk your hands back to your feet at the back of the mat. Coming into a ragdoll. Tent the right fingers underneath your face. Take the left arm up into the sky. Push down into the bottom hand. You could also have whole hand on the ground as long as you're not rounding the spine. Look up towards that top hand. Take the bottom hand, reach it in between your legs, right? And then reach back behind the right hip. I'm going to wrap into a bind. Fingers are wrapped. I'll turn around so you can see what I'm doing. Fingers are wrapped. Maybe you're going to grab onto the left wrist with the right hand. Don't go too deep now. And we're just staying here. What I want you to try to do is straighten through your right leg and then turn your chest to the left. Bend that right knee as you inhale. Straighten through that right leg. Turn the chest to the left. One more time. Bend in the knee. And exhale, wringing it out. Release both hands down to the floor. Ragdoll, whole hand on the mat, even if you gotta bend the knees. Second side, tent the left fingers. Reach that right arm up into the sky. Stay here for a moment. Try to find, I push down to lift my chest away from the floor. I'm feeling engaged in the core, so were I to move that bottom hand away, I won't collapse down because my belly's doing a fair share of the work. Take the top hand behind the back, take the bottom hand, reach it in between your legs. Try to wrap around the outside of that left glute. And again, you can wrap up a couple fingers. Maybe you're trying to work your hand onto the wrist. Do what you can. You can always use a strap too. Breathing in, straighten through that left leg, turn the chest to the right. Breathing in, bend the knee. Exhale, twist and straighten. Keep the hips right over the heels. Last time, inhale. And exhale, squeeze and straighten. Release both hands to the floor. Take a tabletop spine, hands on the shins. Crawl your hands forward, plank pose. Take a breath in plank pose. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana, lower halfway down. Change to the tops of the feet. Roll the toes, upward facing dog. Tuck the toes, send the hips back. Downward facing dog. Stay and breathe for 3. 2. Last one. Next inhale, lift the right leg up high into the sky. Step that foot all the way forward in between your hands. Toes line up with the fingertips. Let's take the back knee down and then take the arms up and over your head. Interlace your fingers. Bring the palms back behind your head. So this is really going to work to find a lot of awareness in the crisscross belly muscles of your obliques. It's part of the core, but it's really the part of the core that twists us from the front. So let's breathe in. With your exhale, I want you to try to turn to face the right side wall and then bring that left elbow to touch the knee. Make sure the knee stays right over the heel. Inhale, tip back up, facing the right side wall, and then exhale, face center. So it's turn and then tap, come up and then turn. You don't turn, we turn at the beginning and at the end, not in the middle. So let's breathe in. Exhale, turn to the right. Tap the elbow. Inhale, come up. Turn it forward. One more time, breathing in. Turn to the right. Tap the elbow. Inhale, come up. Turn to face forward. Release your hands down. Shift your hips over that back knee. Straighten through the front leg. Bow the head. You can walk your hands further forward if you want. Just a nice easy stretch into this right hamstring. We've already done a bit of work on the hamstring when we were lying on our back. So you may find that it's a little bit more open than it would be had we not done this the preemptive work. Let's take an inhale, lengthen the heart. Exhale, bow it down. One more time, breathe in long. And exhale, bow down. Come back into your low lunge. Step back into your downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Roll the feet or change the toes. Inhale to up dog. Exhale it back, downward facing dog. Inhale, take your left leg up high. Exhale, step that foot all the way forward in between your hands. Release the back knee down, untuck the toes. Take the arms up over your head, interlace. Take a breath in. Turn to face left. Tap that elbow down. Come on back up, inhale. And then turn to face forward. Let's try that again, breathing in. Turn to the left. Tap the elbow down. Inhale, come up. Facing forward. One last time. Squeeze into those obliques. Tap the elbow. Tip it up. Turn it forward. Hands to the floor. Straighten your left leg. Half split pose. Bow down. 3. Pour the upper body. Knee and toes pointing at the sky. This is 2. Last one. Come back into your low lunge. Step back into your downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Stay and breathe for 3. 2. 1. Inhale, take the right leg up into the sky. Right dog split, super duper high. Fallen triangle. Take the knee over to the opposite elbow. Kick the foot out. Take the left arm up, look up. Press down into the bottom 3 limbs to lift that left hip higher. Let's sweep the top hand forward. And then take that hand onto the ground. Keep the right leg exactly where it is. I just dialed my back heel up. So the back knee is pointing towards the floor. My right leg stays straight. I really want to try to straighten through the knee of that front leg and push the foot into the ground. Squeeze through the knee, push the foot into the ground. That's getting a little extra sauce on your IT band. Right dog split. Send the leg high and back. And then exhale, step the foot forward in between your hands. Rise up, high lunge. Let's take a T-twist to the right, push the walls away. Same core muscles we were stabilizing with in those low twisting lunge. Inhale, look forward and up, high lunge. Exhale, twist to the right. One more time. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, twist to the right, latch your left elbow around the outside of the right thigh. Bring your hands together, pressed at heart. So hands at heart center. See if you can get the heart to dial towards the thumbs, lining up there. Lots of energy through the trailing leg. Look over your top shoulder. Stay and breathe. Squeeze. I'm using the elbow on the outside of the thigh to compress my left side belly into that right inner thigh. Last one. Breathe in deep. Exhaling out long. Inhale, high lunge, take the arms up. Exhale, warrior 2. Open the arms out. I'm just turning around so you can see the proper side of my pose. Warrior 2, take a moment to really commit to the bend in that front knee. Tip back, reverse warrior. Send that right hand skyward as the left hand slides down that back leg. Triangle pose. Straighten out the front leg. We're just going to give it a bit of a break. Take your right hand either on the shin or to the floor. I've got my right hand outside of the front leg because I'm trying to stack my upper body over this front leg. That's where we capitalize on the stretch on the inner right thigh and that left outer hip. Take one more breath, please. And then bend that front knee, warrior two. Straighten the front leg. Turn the toes to the side wall, hands behind the back. Pull the knuckles down, squeeze the wrists together, puff out the chest, look up. Exhale, bow down. Take your hands as far high up and over your head as you can. Rock some of the weight out of the heels into the balls of the feet. Really feel the upper body dripping heavy towards the floor. With every inhale, I'm relaxing the arms, especially at the shoulders a little bit. And then with every exhale, I'm going to pull. 2. Last one. Release your hands down to the ground beneath your shoulders. Come into a tabletop spine and then move that right hand directly underneath your face. Take your left arm to the sky, reaching up high. Put a bend in the bottom elbow so you're not holding yourself up with that bottom arm, stabilizing the core instead. Take the top arm behind your back, grab hold of the right hip. Take the bottom hand, grab the foot at the back of your mat, the left ankle, and then grab hold and pull your upper body towards that front knee. From here, listen up. I'm going to bend my right knee and feel that pull on the right armpit. So the right arm is holding the left leg. Because I'm moving away from the leg by bending my front knee, I start to feel that stretch all the way through the right side body, through the armpit, through the side waist. See if you can lift the right hip up just a little bit, even though that knee is bending, to intensify the stretch. Let's go one last time. Stay where you're at, straighten both legs. Take your left hand, reach it to the sky, and then draw it over your head, which is to say to the side of the mat. Plant the whole palm on the ground. Hopefully you're in a straight line from your tailbone out through those left fingertips. Lean away from the right leg. Just peek up underneath your left armpit. Stay and breathe. Lots of twisting. Squeezing out. 2. Squeezing out. Last one. Release that. Hands below shoulders. Crawl your way to the front of the mat. Let's take a brief lizard pose. Lower the back knee, untuck the toes, and then move your right foot to the right. Come down onto palms or lower down onto elbows. Look out in front to get you started. Hug that right knee in towards the shoulder. So if I check out my front foot, the toes are pointing forward. The inner thigh is hugging into my rib cage. The knee is trying to press towards my shoulder. We could take the bind here. Reach your right hand back behind you. Bend the back knee. Grab hold of the pinky edge side of your back foot. Sink that back thigh closer to the floor. At this point, the right toes may want to steer off to the side a little bit, pointing over to the right a little bit. Let that happen. And then turn your heart to face the ceiling above you. Laying back into that heart space. For 2. Last one. Release the back foot down. Slowly come back up onto your palms and move the right foot underneath your chest. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. Standing split. Lift the back leg up. Move your hands in line with the standing foot. Try to get the toes and fingertips in line. And then gradually straighten through the standing leg. Maybe it doesn't go completely straight, but do your best. And then lift that top leg up a little higher. Bow the upper body towards your front kneecap for front shin. Start to walk the hands out. I'm keeping the back leg lifted. More of a supported warrior 3. Left fingertips below the shoulder. Right hand reaches up. Top leg stays engaged. You can kick through the heel. And then maybe point through the toes. Revolved half moon pose. And then kick through the heel. Bend that back knee. Is it possible to grab the ankle with your hand? And then give that foot a good solid kick. Turning your chest to the right side wall. 3 breaths. 2. Last 1. Release the foot, low lunge, hands to the ground. Step back, plank, chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Send the hips high and back. Stay and breathe. 3. 2. Last 1. Inhale, float your left leg up into the sky. Draw the knee underneath and across your body. Fall in triangle, kick it out. Take the top arm up. Remember, bottom 3 limbs are long and they push down to lift high. Take the top arm, sweep it over your head to the front of the mat. Keep your left leg where it is. Plant the right hand. Dial your back heel up. Take a second. So all that stuff we were doing on our back, you're squeezing into this left leg, trying to straighten through the knee, and I'm pushing the foot into the floor, the pinky head side of that foot into the floor. Dome your upper back a little bit, cat spine, in the shoulder blades, protraction. Take a breath. Stay for your exhale. Take that left leg high and back, dog split. And then step it all the way forward, in between your hands. Rise up, high lunge, biceps framing the ear. We got 3 T-twists. Turn to the left, push the walls away. Inhale, high lunge. Turn to the left, push the walls away. Inhale, high lunge. One more time, T-twist it open, and here's where we're gonna take our Parivrtta Anjaneyasana, right elbow to outside left thigh. Palm to palm. Lift off the leg. Twist, dialing the heart towards the thumbs. Look over your top shoulder. Strong through the back foot. 3. 2. Single point of focus. Don't let the eyes wander. Whatever it is you're looking at. Hopefully not me. Rise up, warrior 2. High lunge. Fold the back heel down. Reach the arms out. Tip back, reverse warrior. Triangle pose, straighten out that left leg. You know what you're doing now. Hand can go to the shin or to the floor, whatever you did on your first side. Do your best to stack the upper body, hips and shoulders, over the legs. That's how we optimize the stretch, and then I'm looking up. Feel the strength in the thighs. Squeeze your glutes a little. Reach through the arms. Warrior 2, bend the front knee. Straighten the front leg, turn the toes to the side wall. Option to take reverse prayer hands behind your back. Slide your palms to press. Work them up towards the shoulder blades. Pull the elbows back, seal the palms together. Inhale, look up. Exhale, dive down, long spine. Stay for 5. Try to work your heart down. Let the head hang heavy. 4. 3. 2. Push those palms, last 1. Release your hands down to the mat again, lining up fingertips with, or hands below shoulders again, but this time lining up fingertips with toe tips. Bow the top of your head towards the floor. Maybe it touches. If it's not touching, just really lengthen head and heart away from tailbone and work towards that. If it is touching, claw into the fingers, hug the elbows over the wrists, point through the toes, start to lift the legs all the way up high. Or maybe you're just working with getting your feet off the ground and getting your toes to barely hover off the mat works as well. Do something that's going to keep you safe. And of course, we're breathing with ease, whatever your choice is. All right, wherever you're at, let's straddle out those legs super wide if you're up. Put the feet right back down where you found them. And then everybody take a tabletop spine, hands back underneath your shoulders. Move your left hand below your face. Take the right hand up towards the ceiling. Bend that bottom elbow, stabilize with the core. Take the top hand behind your back, find the hip. Take the bottom hand, grab hold of your right ankle. Pull yourself towards that leg. And then bend your left knee and feel that left hip lifting up towards the ceiling a little bit. Inhale, you can straighten the left leg, really lunging off to that side. Feel the pull in your left armpit and side waist. Breathe with me. Exhale. One more time, breathing in. And exhale. Stay where you're at. Just straighten the front leg. Take your right arm up into the sky. Look up. And then take that top hand over your head towards the side of your mat. Plant the palm. Start to peek underneath your right arm. The left hand is helping the twist, but we're now trying to lengthen straight down the center line, right in between the hips. Using the strength of that left hand to help you. You can keep lifting your left hip up. We were doing that on our first variation. We want to do it here as well. Last time, breathing in and breathing out. Release that, hands below shoulders. Tabletop spine. Crawl your hands to the front of the mat. Low lunge to lizard, move the left foot over. Release the back knee. Come down onto your elbows if you did on your first side. Stay on palms, of course, if you did not. First 3 breaths, heart is forward, left knee hugs in. What we are doing is learning strength and openness in your left inner thigh muscles called your adductors, inner thigh muscles. They get tight, this stretches them out, but we don't want to just collapse into the stretch, which is why we want to hug that left knee in towards your shoulder. All right, here we go. Left hand reaching back. If you did this on your first side, left toes can dial out a little. Bend that back knee, grab hold of the pinky side of that foot. This is just preparing our quadricep. Easier to stretch out the hip flexor and quadricep on that back leg when we're low to the ground like this. If you're taking the bind, dial your heart towards the sky. Release that. Come onto your palms. Toe heel the left foot back in between your hands. Let's come into our standing split. Float the back leg up. First breath, walk your hands back towards the toes, fingertips and toes aligning. Left knee is as straight as you can get it, but if you need to bend it. Just pull the belly in and really start to feel that right butt cheek squeezing in. Supported warrior 3, walk the hands forward underneath your shoulders. Lengthen the spine. Let's take your left hand up to the sky. You can point through the toes of the lifted leg. Kick through the heel. Maybe point and kick one last time. And then with that kicked heel, bend the knee, grab the ankle. Start to kick that foot into your hand. Look over to the side wall. Stay and breathe. Revolved half moon pose with the back bind. 2. Last one. Lose the bind. Step back to low lunge. Step back to plank pose. Take a vinyasa, chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Stay and breathe. 3, 2, last one. Bring your big toes to touch, feet slightly forward. Take the shoulders over the wrists. Look out to the top of the mat. Bend the knees, squat low, bottom of the breath. Step or float. Take a halfway lift when you get there. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms high. Press the palms over your head, standing up tall, lifting the chest. Exhale, hands down by your sides. Samastitihi, mountain pose. Close the eyes for a second. Settle into the body, ground. Draw your right knee up into the chest. Give it a squeeze. All right, we're going to try our hand to foot twist pose. Take that left hand, grab onto the pinky edge of the right foot. You can always wrap it around the thigh if you need to. So I got the pinky edge side of the foot. I'm going to reach my right hand back and then start to fire that right foot forward. Looking over to the side wall. Maybe even looking back. 3. Kick hard through that heel of the lifted leg. Last one together. Look forward, draw the knee in, give it a squeeze, and then put it back down to the floor. Pause. Let's switch sides. Left knee lifts, give it a squeeze, both hands on the shin. Option to grab the thigh and try to kick forward, or you're going to grab the foot because this is going to turn into something else later. Something else. Reach that left hand back. Start to kick the front foot forward. You're either looking forward, side, or back, and that is the level of difficulty. 3, 2, don't let the eyes wander. Last one. Look forward, bend the knee, grab, hold, squeeze. Take that foot down to the floor. Big toes touch, heels slightly apart, mountain pose. We're just going to wash through all that hard work with 3 rounds of Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, arms up, reach high, look up. Exhale, dive down, forward fold. Inhale to lengthen and lift. Hands down, feet back, nice and quietly, floating to chaturanga or stepping back, plank to chaturanga. Downward facing dog. Stay and breathe for 3, 2, last one. Big toes touch, feet slightly forward. Inhale, shoulders forward, looking out to the top of the mat. Bend the knees, stay looking forward, step or float. Lengthen and lift. Exhale, release. Arms all the way high. Hands down by your sides. Round 2, inhale, arms up. Dive down. Lengthen and lift. Hands down, feet back, chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. 4. 3. 2. 1. Big toes touch. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, squeeze back and hold. Step or float. Lengthen and lift. Forward fold. Arms all the way up. Hands by your sides. Last round together, arms up. Forward fold. Inhale, prepare. Chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Big toes to touch. Inhale, ripple forward. Exhale, pull back. Step, hop, or hang time. Take an inhale, lift. Exhale, squeeze down. Arms all the way up. Hands down by your sides. Malasana, please. Step your feet out, heels in, toes out. Take a squat low, hands to heart center. Try to get a straight line across the elbows. You basically have a pipe with a couple hands in the middle of it. Hug the inner thighs onto the back of that pipe, but with the hands pressed and with the elbows in line, the arms will go nowhere unless they pop forward, but of course, you're not going to let that happen. Close the eyes, feel the lift of the chest. Feel the shoulder blades sliding down the back. And then just check in with where the weight is distributing on your feet. If you notice you're collapsing into any particular part of your feet, do what you can to feel the weight nice and evenly distributed. We'll take a look at crow pose on the way back into downward facing dog. Big toes touch. Lift the heels high. Bring the armpits around the knees and then push the legs into the backs of the armpits. Shift forward, clawing into the mat, letting one or both feet lift up off the ground, looking out in front. Easy breath. Straighten through the elbows a little. And then when and if you're ready to float back, chaturanga. If not, step back to plank. Try to take your proper chaturanga up dog, down dog. And we're going to meet back in our downward facing dog. And then lower down onto your shins. And you can take a seat of Vajrasana, please, sitting back on your shins. All right, let's talk a little bit about what's going on because there are options. And if you know what they are before we get into it, maybe you're going to move more smoothly through a choice. Because there's always a choice not to go to the deeper pose. And that's sometimes a very good choice, but you want to know what your choice is. We're making choices in the moment, of course. We're very present, but giving you a little foresight is not a bad thing. So we're going to go twisted lunge with the option for the bind. And then with our bind, I'm going to take that twisted lunge into a bound, revolved triangle pose. So if you're taking your bind and your twisted lunge, we're simply going to straighten out the legs, probably stepping that back foot forward a bit too. Not probably, we will shorten up the stance. Then I'm going to start to take it up into revolved bird of paradise, which is the bound kick leg variation of what we were doing at the top of the mat. So hopefully that gives you a little insight to what choice you're going to make. Let's start in downward facing dog. It doesn't go fast, so you have plenty of time to figure out what I just said. Let's do one thing before we come into that twisted lunge. Right dog split, send the leg up high. Draw the knee into fallen triangle. Kick it directly out to the side of your mat, so don't kick it too high. And then take that left hand down to the like a plank pose, same as we did before. What I want us to do now is with that right leg as straight as I can, I'm going to take a chaturanga hold for about 3 breaths. So push into the outside of that cross leg, hold down 3, 2, last 1. Push it back up, right dog split, send the leg back, holy shoulders on that. Step that foot all the way forward, and let's lower the back knee and take the arms up. Palms press. Hands to heart center. So let's take the twist across that front leg, latching the elbow on the outside of the thigh. Now, if you're not going to take it into the bound bird of paradise, you can come up to stand and do hand to foot twist like we did at the other end of the mat. Left hand goes underneath that right leg, and then the right hand reaches back, and I just took the bind back behind me. So now we would tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, and maybe you're going to hang out in the twisted lunge variation, but we can keep this moving. So if I step my back foot forward about 12 inches, anchor the heel down, try to straighten through my front leg, taking the twist into my bound revolved triangle pose. I got to catch my breath. One more time. And then if I can step my back foot forward, pop up the heel of the right foot, come up nice and slowly, all the way to stand. Take your time, find the balance. Keep that right knee bent until you're up at the top. Careful with that left shoulder. And then when you're all the way up, maybe kick through the right foot, start to look off to the side, or even start to look back. Stay for 3, 2, last 1. Take it down nice and slowly. We're meeting in Malasana. Just undo your arms, squat down low, hands to heart center, breathe. 3. Not as chatty in that particular pose. That's a challenging one. All right, take a vinyasa, hands to the ground, step or hop back, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. I'm just turning around so you can see my twisting leg. Let's keep it moving. This is our final lap and our peak pose. Left dog split, send it high. Take it across, directly across, fallen triangle, but I want that leg perpendicular to the long side of the mat. Right hand down, pop the heel, breathe, lower forward, keep that left leg as straight as possible. Even out the shoulders. 3, 2, last 1. Come up, left dog split. Send it high. Step it all the way forward between your hands. Back knee down. Arms over your head, palms press. Hands to heart. All right, take a breath. Twist across that front leg, elbow to the outside of the thigh. If you're not coming into the bind, hands at heart center. If you're going to try the bind and the transition, right hand underneath left leg. Left hand back behind. Take up the bind. Tuck the back toes. Lift the back knee. 3, 2, last 1. Now with the transition, stepping my back foot forward a little bit. Heel anchors down. Straighten through the left leg. Turn your chest to the side. 3, 2, last 1. All right, stepping that right foot underneath, popping up onto the left toes. Keep that leg close to the body. As you come all the way up, the knee bends. And then when and if you're up at the top, maybe start to fire through that left leg. 3, 2, Superhero that heart. Last one. Bend the lifted leg, Malasana. Release from the twist. Hands to heart center. What's up? Take a breath. Exhale it out. Hands to the floor. Step or hop back. Take a vinyasa. Meeting in down dog. Inhale, come forward to plank. Lower on the hands and knees. Have a seat, please. Take the legs out in front of you. All right, please no more twisting. We've done quite a bit today. Let's bring the bottoms of the feet together. Heels towards your groin. Make a strap with the hands. Wrap it around the pinky edges of your feet. Sit up tall. Exhale, bow the heart towards the big toes. Just do your best. Head towards the floor, bow it down, see how low it goes. Doesn't matter if you're way up or far down. It matters that you find your edge. 4. When you breathe in, pull in the belly wall. That's going to allow the breath to feel like it's traveling up the spine, which in turn lengthens us. 2. Last one. Inhale to come on up. Take both legs out in front of you, please. Kick through the heels. Big toes touch, heels slightly apart. Or if you prefer to have your feet hips width apart, rock it out. Arms up, reach high. Exhale, grab way out in front. See what you can hold on to. Anything as far as the feet or a block in front of the feet. Anything as close as the backs of the knees. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, deepen at the hip folds. Ultimately, what I'm trying to do is compress my ribs onto my thighs. There's my priority, especially low down by the hips. Everything else that melts down is secondary to that. Listen to your breath. We're going 5 more here. 2. Last one. Come on back up. Bring the bottoms of your feet together, but don't pull the heels in close. Try to see more of a box shape in between the legs. 4 sides, 2 calves, 2 inner thighs, rather than a triangle. You can simply lean forward and put your elbows on your calves, or maybe elbows to the floor out in front of your shins, grabbing onto the toes and the forehead towards the arches of the feet. That's option 1. Option 2 is lift the knees, thread the elbows underneath the knees, so I got knee and elbow crisscross. And then if I push the knees down, it bows my forehead towards the floor. This is like an early variation of our tortoise pose, Kurmasana. But really what we're doing is just the opposite of everything else we've been doing. We've been doing a lot of twisting, a lot of internal rotation of the legs. This is about just letting the legs collapse open. And then, of course, with our elbows sandwiched underneath the legs, it forces us, allows us to go deeper into the forward fold. There's a little pull on the shoulders there as well. 2 more breaths. Last one. Inhale to come on up. Unthread your arms if they were out in front. Let's come on to hands and knees. Downward facing dog. Don't worry, we're still in stretch territory. We're not doing anything too fiery. Step that right foot in between your hands. Lower the back knee, untuck the toes. Let's finish off with the right side split. So you could take half split, or if you want to scoot that right foot further forward, maybe slide the back leg further back. Sometimes it's nice to have your right heel on something slippery like the floor out in front of your mat. But you want to be careful, of course. Gravity is your friend, but you don't want gravity to overdo it. All right, let's square left hip forward, right hip back. If you're not all the way to the floor, keep your heart over your hips. If you're all the way to the floor and want to forward fold over that front leg, rock on with your bad self. Here we go, 5. So I always like a little bit of a pulse. 4. 3. 2. Last 1. Slowly slide out. Bring that foot back with you. Careful it doesn't get to the top of the mat. We want to engage in the hips so that it doesn't drag back so hard. Downward facing dog, please. Simple. If you want to take a forward to plank pose, Chaturanga Dandasana, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot to the top of the mat. Setting up for your splits pose, back knee down. Stay in half split or take it all the way forward. Take a few minutes to set it up. Something we're all trying to focus on, and I'm guilty of it too, is internal rotation of both our legs. I want my back knee to point down. I want my front knee to point up. If the back knee starts to rotate out to the side a bit, not the end of the world, but we're trying to really stretch through that midline of your hip flexors. So the hip flexors are on the front of the back leg. They go up into the spine, well, through the pelvis to the spine as well. And when that back thigh is dialing straight down, that's when I'm optimizing the stretch across all of the hip flexors. I don't want to favor a particular side. 5 breaths. Here we go. 5. 4. Wherever you're at's perfect. Breathe into it. Decide if it serves you to go deeper or back away. 2. 1. Take your time working out of the pose. Squeeze the hip flexors of the left leg to get that foot back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Upward facing. Downward facing dog. Come forward to plank. Lower onto hands and knees. Have a seat. Facing the side of your mat, bring the bottoms of your feet together, knees wide. You can stay here, coming into a forward fold like we did previously. Heels in as close as you want, or let's come into our straddle split, pancake split. Widen out through the heels, through the legs. Pull on the hamstrings gently. If you tug on the hamstrings, it gets the feet further back. If you put your hands behind you and scoot your hips forward, it's a little easier to lean out to the front of the mat. Stay where your edge is. So if I'm not feeling anything, I got to move forward until I feel something. And I'm really trying to lengthen my heart forward. Head, it's like someone's pulling my head away from my hips. If you got more space, walk the hands all the way out in front of you, forehead to the ground. If you want to try to melt your chest towards the floor, tuck the chin forward, lots of options. 5 breaths, whatever your option is. 4. 3. 2. Last 1. Hands beneath your shoulders. Push up. Close your legs to the back of the mat, wherever you're at. Plant your feet down. Roll onto your back. Try not to go collapsing to the floor. Give the knees a squeeze in. And then plant your feet down onto the mat. Going to finish up with the back bend of your choice. Might be bridge pose, might be wheel. Let's all start with bridge pose. Lift your hips up. Interlace your hands down beneath. Walk your elbows and shoulders closer to one another. Now the purpose of this pose is just to squeeze into the inner thighs today, meaning we were just doing a lot of hip openers to finish us off. Now you're bringing your hips back in an internal rotation, so the knees stay over the heels is your priority. If you want the deeper back bend, let's go. Hands up by your shoulders, fingertips facing down towards the heels. Claw into the fingerprints, breathe in, and then a nice slow push up into your Urdhva Dhanurasana. Adjust the hands and feet so that they are parallel to the long sides of the mat. And then pull the belly in, straighten out through the legs, pressing your chest to the front. 4 more breaths. 3. Stay engaged in those inner thighs. 2. Last one. Chin to the chest if you're in wheel to roll down. Get your hands out from beneath you if you are in bridge. Let's just windshield wiper the knees side to side. We're not going to twist. We've done enough of that, but we will finish up with this. Cross your left ankle. Listen up. Cross your left ankle over the right thigh. Move your right foot off of the mat to the right edge, and then drop your knees to the left. Internal rotation of that right hip. You can just cactus your arms out and you're looking straight up. Internal rotation, so I'll feel a little bit of a pinch on the outer hip, maybe lower back a little bit. Stretching out your external hip rotators. And stretching out the outside of that hip and thigh. 2. Last one. Take your legs back towards center. Switch. Left foot on the mat. Right ankle over left thigh. Move your left foot to the left, off the mat. Toes are pointing straight down to the bottom. Drop your knees to the right. Looking straight up. This isn't a twist. It's just rotation of that left hip. Take yourself back to center. Put both feet on the ground. Hug your knees in. Feel the tailbone lift off the ground so that when you put it back down, the lower back feels nice and long. Lengthen out your legs. Take your feet out wide. Turn your palms to face up by your sides. Press into the elbows. Squeeze the shoulder blades onto the back. And then release down with your heart wide open. Eyes closed, eyelids relaxed. Mouth closed, lips relaxed. Teeth parted, tongue gently against the roof of your mouth. Feel every inch of your body sinking deeply down into the floor. Imagine your fingernails and toenails are melting off into that relaxation. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Breathe it out the mouth. Inhale, spread out your fingers and toes. Exhale, tight fist, crunch up the feet. Inhale, spread them out, lengthen through the arms and legs. And squeeze them in. Take your arms above your head, wrap up the thumbs. Squeeze your head with the biceps, bring your legs together, point through the toes. Deep inhale and hold, deep breath in. Hold. Exhale out the mouth. Draw your knees in, give them a squeeze. And then roll over to your right side. Press up to a tall seat, facing forward, eyes closed. Let's seal the practice off together with the sound of Om. Take a breath in. Sigh it out. Another breath in. Bring the palms together to the center of your chest. Give yourself a bow. Thumbs to the forehead, giving everything and everyone around you a bow of gratitude. Namaste. Thank you, friends. Hope you're feeling well twisted out. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you next time on the mat. Thanks again. Namaste.